crazy. That can't be the case. And as I dug in, I found a few people had written about it. Here's what happened. The most important thing ever to happen in American history happened in that 158 years. Our predecessors learned how to govern themselves. Here on this continent, left alone by a policy of benign neglect by the crown. And no outside forces pressing on them, telling them how they had to govern themselves. No pre-existing systems of governance. They brought some traditions and stuff with them, but it wasn't enforced. They figured it out on their own, and they formed their own governments and their own councils, their own legislatures, their own colonial governments, and eventually, over time, over 158 years, they came to govern themselves. Now, by the time Levi Preston faces off against the Redcoats on the field of battle on that first day of the American Revolution, the idea that they govern themselves, it's just natural. They don't even think about it. It's just when you tell a guy like Levi Preston, hey, by the way, we're going to come from overseas and we're going to tell you all what to do, he just says, what? Are you kidding me? Like, nobody tells me what to do, my family what to do. Nobody told my father or my grandfather or his father what to do. 5 generations of self-governance, the idea that they would flip that on us is outrageous. Today they tell us how our buildings are built, how you can use your land, what kind of car you can drive, what kind of mileage your car can get, what kind of fuel you can put in your car, what's in your breakfast cereal, what's in your lunch meats, what's in the paint on your walls, and yes, even how much water your toilet can use.
Yeah, okay.
Literally. Everything. Can you imagine the founder? Imagine going to Ben Franklin or George Washington, sir, your outhouse is out of compliance with local regulations. By the way, there are some things that I cannot tolerate. When I built my last office, I admitted I installed an illegal high-volume flush toilet. I am a rebel. I am a rebel. I tell you all this to inspire you to fill the shoes of the founders. We might look at George Washington's shoes and say way too big, but we are Levi Preston. I'm Levi Preston. I could be Levi Preston. No, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm not okay with that. I'm going to fight. Our fight is a different fight, right? They had to shed blood to preserve that liberty. I hope and pray we never have to shed blood. They shed blood so we would not have to. They gave us a tool in the Constitution that allows us to exercise peaceful dominion and total control over the federal government. So the only question that we have to ask ourselves is, do we have the fortitude to use it? I have a really vivid imagination. I was an English literature major. I love fantasy. So I think about a lot of stuff that's just crazy. I think about what it would be like to sit with the founders. I've read a lot about the founders, so I have a pretty good idea of their personalities. I think one of my favorite founders is Ben Franklin because he was just so cantankerous. Franklin didn't care what anybody thought about him. He was going to do whatever, especially in his later years. And I imagine myself sitting in an ale house with Franklin in Philadelphia, you know, hitting back a pint of ale and just talking about all the things that bug me about what's going on in our country and how out of control everything is and how the government's doing this and they tell us what our toilets can be and our paint and I imagine Franklin's time, whoa, hold on a second. You have the power to stop them from doing all this stuff, right? I mean, we gave you Article 5. Have you used that yet? And I imagine my embarrassment in that moment. I imagine looking at Franklin, Dr. Franklin, well, Dr. Franklin, the thing is, there are some people that are scared and they're worried what might happen and the Constitution and I imagine him saying, go away, boy. Come back after you guys have done this. We gave you the tools. Let us know how it worked out. And we bled for this stuff. Come back after you tell me. So my intent is to get this done. And then someday, I plan on sitting down in heaven, having that pint with old Ben Franklin and telling him how it worked out. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you very much.